Hello everyone, this is Pilpoh. It's been about a week since AllThemods 9 to the Skies has come out, so there's a load of really good beginner tips that I want to share with everyone, and let's just dive straight in. Some of these aren't going to be beginner, by the way, these are going to be a little bit later on, but these are the most big brain things that people have pointed out to me on either the Discord or in my live streams and things like that. So the first tip I've got for you is actually about the cutting board from Farmer's Delight. So recipe for this, really easy, is just some planks and some sticks and stick it down. If you get some gravel in your offhand and you get some sort of shovel in your main hand, it could be like a stone shovel, it could be whatever shovel, you can right click this on the cutting board like this, and what it's doing is it's basically mining the gravel right there. But what it's doing is it's not using any of the gravel and it's giving you free flint. So that's pretty decent right there. I like that one. So the next tip that I've got for you is after you've sheared some leaves like this, the way that you get dirt is by using a barrel. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to set this up a little backwards. We're going to put a chest down like that. We're going to put a hopper on top. You don't need a hopper for this. You can do it all manually until you get enough iron to make 2 hoppers. We're going to have a hopper going into the oak barrel and a hopper underneath the oak barrel. And then we're going to put a chest right on top of that hopper. Everyone knows how hoppers work, right? So that's what we're going to do right here. Hoppers do look a little weird in this pack, but it's all good. Take those leaves and you stick them either in the chest. So I'm actually just going to put, I don't know, let's put 4 in the chest right now. And what that's doing is it's actually putting it into the oak barrel. So we can do this by hand. I've got some spruce leaves just to show you the difference. So we can do this by hand. This has got a volume of 50%. So if we do this, it goes up to 62%. And then 75, 2 more. And then it has a progress bar. Now when that progress has finished, when it gets up to 100%, you will get, in the chest below, a piece of dirt. Just like that. For those of you that don't have the access to the hoppers yet, there are no wooden hoppers or anything. You literally can just right click them in there and leave it for a bit, and then you can right click this when this is done. So that is now completed, 100%. So we can right click that and we get ourselves a piece of dirt. For my next tip, I'm going to talk about lava. So the best way to get lava is, early game at least, is by getting one of these superheating elements. They're relatively cheap to make. You do need some steel, so you need one of these steel casings, and you need some copper and redstone. But one of these steel casings is relatively easy to get. You can either do this recipe with an ore hammer and some coal and iron dust. You can actually get the iron dust from the ore hammer itself. Or you can go the mechanism route and do a metallurgic infuser. This is actually cheaper when it comes to the amount of coal you use, but you also have to set up the metallurgic infuser and power the thing. Sticking that underneath a crucible, you will see right here it says 60x. If you put a torch underneath a crucible, it will only be 1x, so it's 60 times better than putting a torch underneath. Cobblestone does melt down over time and turn into lava in one of these crucibles, so very handy. And well, you can see I'm using it for magmatic dynamos right here. My next tip is, quickly, I'm going to show you how to get some endstone, and that is just like that. You put some lava into one of these stone barrels, you right click it with some glowstone, and you get yourself an end stone. If you smoosh down using a hammer some end stone, you can sieve it and you can get yourself an Eye of Ender. Now, speaking of Eye of Ender, there is a recipe that requires the Eye of Ender, which is the Gateway of the Emerald Grove, which is right here. What this does is it has different waves. It spawns in some enemies, so it spawns in 5 zombies to begin with, and it gives you a reward of 16 hay bales. The second wave, so you've got a bit of time in between waves, I think it's 5 seconds to eat up or, heal yourself in some way. The second wave is 5 spiders, and they've got modifiers on them, so they've got a bit of extra speed, they've got some armor, got armor pierce. When you kill those 5 spiders, you get 16 cactus, 16 sugarcane, 16 bamboo. The next wave, so there's 4 waves altogether, this is the third wave, you have zombies and spiders, and you get carrots, potatoes, apples, and beetroot. The final wave, you get a necrotic farmer, and that is basically a villager but has armor on, like a zombie villager with armor. You get 3 zombies, 2 spiders. They have a ridiculous amount of health. Sometimes they spawn in with armor. It's so annoying, but if they don't spawn in with armor and you manage to kill all of those, you'll get loads of saplings, plus it will summon 6 cows, 6 chickens, 6 pigs, and 6 sheep. So the quests tell you that there is a way of summoning a cow, but in my opinion, this is the easiest way to get a cow. My next tip is going to be about sieving, especially in the early game. So I've set up a 5x5 right here of sieves. And if you go right into the middle here, stand on top, you can right click and you'll see all of these get filled. So that's 25 get filled into this. Now, there is a config file if you want to go bigger than this. There's a config file called xdurham-server.toml. There is a section in there called simulated sieve range, and I think it's set to 2 by standard to get this 5x5 to go. You can set that all the way up to 6. So setting it to 2 means it's a 5x5, 3 is a 7x7, 4 is a 9x9, and so on and so on, right? So if you set it to 6, it's what, like an 11x11 or even higher than that. So it's a 13x13. So if you want to do a 13x13, which is I think over a stack, so that doesn't really make sense, but yeah, if you do a 13x13, you can go into the simulated sieve range in the Ex Durham or Diorum, however you want to say it, -server.toml. I'll leave a link to, or I'll put it up on screen actually right now, the name of the file that you want to change, and that way you can go even bigger than this. That was really good timing. My next tip is going to be purely about the wandering traders. They're really good in this pack. Genuinely really good. Okay, this one's not. But you can get a wandering trader that sells you things with enchants. So I've got an efficiency 10, mending, silk touch, unbreaking, and chainsaw on this diamond axe right here. I've also got a sharpness, mending, looting, unbreaking, capturing on my sword. And I've got efficiency, mending, fortune, unbreaking, and boon of earth on my pickaxe. All of these I got, I didn't get anything from the shovel right there, but all of these I got from a wandering trader. It does require quite a bit of emeralds, but you should be getting emeralds just by sieving. Not going to lie, good source of leather and leads as well. So another quick tip, it's actually 2 in 1, which is the quests. So you can click the quest book up in the corner there, so you don't actually need the physical copy on you. You can throw it away if you want, because you've always got that up in the corner. So I'm going to talk about the getting started quest line right here. It would be really nice if you could, you know, complete this quest line in like no time at all. Unfortunately, you need to get the netherite mesh. Now I haven't even done this one yet, but I do know how to do it. And that is by using a diamond mesh netherite ingot, which you can get netherite relatively easily. Some blackstone, crushing it down, you can get some ancient debris. Anyway, that gets you netherite scrap, gets you a netherite ingot. And then you've got the smithing template. This is the thing that is tripping a couple of people up. And that is because the only way you can get the smithing template is from a drop from an occultism mob called the Possessed Hoglin. Now, this is the ritual right here. So you want to get this ritual set up. And it is Arbra's commanding conjure. And you do have to kill a pig at the end. So once you put the book in and all of these disappear, you do need to kill the pig. And then that will summon the Possessed Hoglin, and you can kill the Possessed Hoglin, and you've got a 1 in 5 chance, I think it is. Oh, no, a 22% chance, there we go, which is near enough, 1 in 5, to get the smithing template. So you might need to do this a few times. You also might get one of these snout armor trims, and you are likely to get some of this netherite scrap. You can capture this and use a draugme, or a drigme, however you want to say it, and they can pull these out of the Possessed Hoglin. So you can capture this in a jar if you want to go the Ars Nouveau way. So that's quite useful to know, in my opinion. You can do Ars Nouveau, and then you don't have to do this more than once. So you might be thinking, no, I'm not going to do that with the Hoglin. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Nether, and I'm going to try and find myself a Bastion remnant. Now, not going to lie, I did the exact same thing, and there is no bastion. Bastion remnants could not be located within 10,000 block radius. The only thing in the nether is fortresses, and it is a void nether, so this is what it looks like. Yes, gross, isn't it? Ooh, there's an apotheosis mob over there. It's quite nice. Now, the last one that I'm going to give you is about EMC, and specifically Project E. If you want to look up everything that's got EMC, literally just type EMC into JEI. You don't need a hashtag, you don't need anything like that. And it will show you everything with EMC, which is kind of cool. And notable in here is, of course, they've got all of the concrete. Just here, there you go, white concrete, and it costs 1 EMC. So that's really useful because you can get cobblestone out of that. You can also get granite, you can get diorite, you can get andesite, deep slate even. So if you wanted to do a deep slate, that was easy enough to do. You can use a cobble gen and put it underneath one of these things called the energy condensers. So an energy condenser is really easy to make in this pack. You can do it relatively quickly. So they don't have EMC themselves, so let's go to energy condenser. There's 2 of them. There's a Mark II and a Mark I. The Mark II does require quite a lot of like extra stuff from Project E, but the simple energy condenser is a bit of obsidian, diamonds, alchemical chest, and you need all of these covalence dust. So we need a low covalence dust, which is charcoal and a bunch of cobblestone. We need the medium, which is redstone and iron, right there. And you need the high covalence, which is diamonds and coal. And then you need a diamond and a chest. And that will make you the alchemical chest. Surround that like that. And what you can do is you can set up here in the corner a pattern. So for example, I really need a lot of blaze rods, let's say. So I'm going to take a blaze rod and I'm going to pop it in at the top here. And it's going to consume all of the string that I've got in here. And they've got 12 EMC each. And when it gets to the top, it will give us another blaze rod. And we can pull that one out. So that's not the only Project E tip I'm going to give you. Obviously, there's the repair talisman right here. So with that covalence dust and just a bit of paper and string, you can make yourself a repair talisman. Put it on your belt slot. And it will repair your tools for you. So that's super, super useful. So if I mine, I don't know, like this, you'll see that my pickaxe is still full durability because it already like repaired the pickaxe for me, which is super, super nice. Okay, this is going to be the last one. I know I just said that the other one would be the last one, but this is going to 100% be the last one. And that is in the quests. If you go to the Silent Gear quest line, so you click on there, and you complete this quest, this quest, this quest, this quest, and finally you complete the Sword Blueprint quest, you get yourself a blaze rod. So you don't have to go into the nether, you don't have to fight any of the blazes, even though there's a ton in there. In fact, we'll go show you that real quick. I've got a waystone set up in the fort. And if we come out like this, you'll see there's a load of blazes right there. And we can fight them if we want to. And get ourselves some more blaze rods, but there's no point because you can EMC them, as we've just seen in here. And there's 15 blaze rods for us. Did I mention that Anarchy is the best island? And that is purely because we've got one of these bedrocks. You see right above me right there? That is a piece of bedrock. It looks a bit weird, but we do get bedrock. If you're playing on the Cozy Cottage, you do not currently have a bedrock in your island. So if you want to do some flux networks, you are going to have to go to the end using the end cake. And you're going to have to fight the dragon and use the dragon portal as your way of getting some flux dust. So I think this is probably a good place to end the episode. We are completely out of tips on my end. There's probably a few that I've just forgotten about. In fact, there is one that I've forgotten about. Let me just reverse real quick. You can waterlog leaves. That's pretty good for when you're making obsidian. Alright, that's me done, I swear. If anyone else has any more amazing tips that they want to share, then please put them down in the comments. And if you want to have a chat with anyone, then pop over to my Discord. The ATM Discord is also really lively right now. I'm over in the ATM Discord quite a lot, as well as my own Discord. And yeah, I think this is where we're going to call the episode. So thank you for watching. Thanks for joining. And I will see you in the next one. Bye. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I do daily videos. So if you are looking for someone to watch whilst you play All the Mods 9 to the Skies, then hop over to my channel. I'll link the playlist to the ATM9 to the Skies like Let's Play that I've got going. And yeah, I've also got a Patreon and stuff like that, but if that's not your bag, then I've got the Discord, as I mentioned before.